Hey everyone, welcome back. Over the next few episodes, we'll be turning this blank corner into this beautifully designed space. On today's episode, we'll be focusing on the shiplap, so stay tuned. The first step is finding studs so that you can properly secure your shiplap. So here I'm using a stud finder. I prefer using the magnetic one so you can make sure you actually found a screw that was used for the drywall. So I go down and mark vertically all of the screws, and then I take my level and line up those marks that I had made so I can get an idea of where the stud is, and this makes it a lot easier for when you nail the shiplap later on. Once you've marked out all of your stud locations, you can start installing your shiplap. We made sure to install the first board extremely level because all the other boards placed on top and beneath it will be referencing off of it. And unfortunately, I lost a ton of footage of us installing the shiplap. However, it's basically just a rinse and repeat process, putting the boards on top of one another and nailing them in the previously marked stud locations. You're going to want to nail the lip of the shiplap on the top, and just to be safe, I also nail the bottom, even though those will need to be covered with putty later. So here we're putting up the final few boards. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. We just had to cut around the window, but for the most part it was pretty easy cuts and just making sure they fit in between the cabinet and the wall. And it definitely helps to have a second set of hands for these types of projects, as these boards are pretty long, so luckily I had Bianca here to help me out. And for the very last board, I actually used a trim board as opposed to a piece of shiplap so that I was able to make it perfectly flush with the ceiling. And once all your shiplap's installed, it's on to filling all those nail holes. I prefer using Drydex, but any putty will work just fine. Do your best to remove any excess putty when first applying it. However, once it's dry, you can easily wipe away any of the extra with a wet cloth. Now it's on to cutting all the trim pieces, which I think make the wall really pop. This has been my workshop while I was living here. This is the alley in between my buildings, but it got the job done. Here I'm just using a square to make sure that the miter saw is at a perfect 45-degree angle. And now I'm about to cut the trim for the window. And if you can notice, I am not letting it fall flat, but I'm keeping it on kind of an L because I want one of the sides angled, but also one of the sides straight, as you'll see in the install. So here I'm just using a brad nailer to install this trim piece. These are really great tools you can use for a variety of applications. I definitely recommend buying one if you haven't already. As you can see, those two outer corners are the mitered edges. However, the inside of the window is not mitered, it's just a straight edge. That allows the other trim pieces on the sides to line up with them correctly. If you're enjoying the video so far and you think we've earned it, we'd really appreciate it if you give us a like. Also, comment down below. Are you a fan of shiplap, or do you think it's a bit overdone?
Are you kidding me?
And it's always the last nail that never goes according to plan. I was literally putting in the very last nail into this trim piece and it popped out of the front. It wasn't the biggest deal, but it always frustrates me when this happens. I just used a pair of pliers to kind of pull out what I could. It ended up breaking off, but you can easily just pound it back in with a hammer and then fill it with some putty, and Bob's your uncle. And now I'm installing the two side pieces to the window trim. And again, the top corner is mitered so it can line up with that top piece. However, that bottom edge is just a straight cut so that it can butt into the windowsill. Now I'm installing a piece of Cove corner trim molding. Originally when cutting the shiplap, I was going to try to not have a seam whatsoever and not have to use any trim. However, that required perfect cuts, and that's just a bit challenging when you're trying to get things done efficiently. So I ended up deciding just to make the cuts pretty close but not perfect, and then come back with this trim piece to make everything look nice. And I think it saved a lot of time, and it looks better this way too. Now on to everyone's favorite part, caulking. Most caulk guns have a cutter on the trigger that you can use to open up the tube of caulk, and you want to do this at a slight angle. And then you want to look for a thin metal rod on your caulk gun. Here mine is on the front. You can twist that out, and then you can use that to puncture the seal of your caulk tube, and this will allow the caulk to start flowing. You can pull that back in, and then insert your tube, and then you can get to caulking. So in this instance, I am caulking the seam between the countertop and the shiplap. So you want to just get some caulk in there. You might not get it all out on your first try, but just pull it along the line. You don't want to stop too often, and make sure you keep a consistent pressure on that trigger. And then you want to have a rag and a cup of water nearby, so that when you're done with the first line of caulk, you can dip your finger in the water. This will allow the caulk to not stick to your finger, and then you can rub your finger along the wall, and this will give it a nice finish and kind of a round over edge. And you might have to do this a couple times, as well as you might need to add more caulk if the seam is pretty large. I had a lot of gaps to fill, and in this case it was a little bit tricky to get to, but I just used the countertop as a step stool. However, I made sure not to step on top of where the fridge was, because the countertop would probably crack. I then caulked the seam in between the ceiling and shiplap, and this honestly might be the most important seam to caulk because it makes it look like it's all part of the wall and built in sort of thing. And so take your time with this one. The shiplap came primed but not painted, so Bianca and I came back and gave it 2 coats of white paint to finish it off. The final step was installing these 3 lights. I looked for about 2 months for these, and I finally found some that I really liked, although the price was a little high, but I pulled the trigger anyway. And if you're enjoying the video so far, I recommend you check out our TikTok and Instagram, as we have a lot more DIY content over there. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have a new DIY video every Saturday morning. And with that, the project's complete. I think it looks really nice, and really happy with those lights above the shiplap. Next week, we'll post a video on how to build those floating shelves above the beverage center, so stay tuned. And as always, thanks for watching, and happy building.